black garlic mayonnaise, mustard, creme fraiche, some potato chips, and leeks. Take them, put them on the sandwich, and just eat it almost like a sandwich. You can use a knife and fork if you'd like. In New York, where there's a deli, there's a soda fountain, and the two kind of go hand in hand. And so we have some house-made sodas for you. For you, maple. For you, apple.
Beforehand dinner, it's almost like an excuse for us to meet with our friends, to get together.
And here we are, we're spending like 4 days together from morning to night. We have, lunches and dinners together, we work together, we go for drinks together.
You come with the interest of showing people what you are and what you have to bring, but you always go home slightly different because you're surrounding yourselves with people who are really passionate and they help you become a better version of yourself. Decaf, but they didn't have decaf.
All right, so yeah, service team. So we're just gonna go through. We have a whiteboard ready if you want to write something. This time around with 11 Madison Park, I think the highlight is on the experience, the dining experience, to change the perspective of, I'm coming for the food, the cuisine, but I'm coming for the whole entire experience. I think will also play a very important role. This should be a 6 hands dinner. Yeah.
Our first meal in Singapore was at one of André's favorite Chinese restaurants. And we had this dish, lo hei, and we saw it at the other table and people were getting up and we're like, whoa, André, what's going on over there? And he's like, oh, this is lo hei, this is for Chinese New Year.
We loved that idea of community around a table, and so we want to bring it to this meal.
And we said, wouldn't it be cool if we would do our own version of lo hei for this dinner?
We're doing like a New York version of a lo hei, and it'll be like a Waldorf salad.
The last day of the Chinese New Year that we have the lo hei, and it still makes sense in the New York Times, right? So
yeah, exactly. Well done. And so we want the guests to have fun. We want them to experience delicious food in a beautiful room with refined service, but we want them to have a good time and we want them to feel like they're a part of this beautiful relationship that we're forming. And you gotta make a mess.
The first thing that we get into is what is the message that we want to deliver. What is the philosophy? We study each other's philosophy. We started with how to make the guests feel surprised, comfortable, and an experience they never had before. And then we start to work backwards.
I grew up in Switzerland and went through all the classic training, and I think there's just a lot of similarities. So coming here and to work in his kitchen, it felt like a home away from home. Duck blood you don't have? No. Can you get pork blood?
No, no blood in Singapore.
Really?
Our job is to make sure that what needs to be presented for 11 Madison Park is presented 120%.
human blood?
While we can't recreate what it would be like to eat at 11 Madison Park, the idea is to bring a little bit of who we are and then adapt it a bit to where we go.
We all sign the menu.
Yes.
So all the menu for the guests, and then we're just gonna serve it this side. So like that. So when they flip over, they have the menu and they have everyone signed on it. And they had this a date.
I love Singapore. I love the people. I love the energy. I love the pace of the city. We love the street food. We love the fine dining food. There's so much that it has to offer. And from a culinary perspective, people at all levels are excited about food, whether it's cheap food, expensive food, or everything in between.
Today, as chefs, we are also open and we share our philosophy or our way of doing things in a way that when I was coming up in the kitchen was never that way.
You work with people who are incredibly talented, and that inspires you to want to be a better version of yourself. We've talked a lot this week about taking risks, a lot this week about the idea that if you want to do something great, you need to be prepared to fail.
We're thinking really to bring something unique for the guests to bring home. You know, it's not just a dinner. We want to highlight it on the season, the produce, the collaboration, and also the friendship between me and Daniel and Will. They will remember the evening that we spent together.
Sometimes along the way you admire someone of his work or something that you feel that, you know, we should exchange, we should introduce that to our friend, to our guests in this part of the world. And that's when the Four Hands dinner come along.
I was really excited to have his cooking because I knew his philosophy and I love the way he thinks about food. I think the philosophies already are very similar.
You know, we don't want to see two totally different cooking styles, and we want everything to be seamless. People might not notice that is this Daniel's dish or is that André's dish, but you know, it doesn't matter. It's just the whole experience is seamless.
When you put it down, it's recommended to eat it from the bottom.
We just really worked on understanding each other, not just the chefs, but also the entire team, Will and the dining room. And
the New York deli, that's something that is very New York. And to bring that here, it's kind of taking all our guests to New York.
On the service side, A Sense of Place in New York is a bit of bravado. There's a grandeur to it. Our dining room is big. New York is kind of like the home of the maitre d' back in the day, and so we like to be a little bit louder, a little bit looser. We like to bring a sense of theatricality to the experience and really work to make our guests feel at ease and at home and maybe roll up their sleeves and enjoy it a bit.
we want to make sure that it feels like very cohesive. It's a box. It has 4 chocolate bars in it. The packaging is with our leaves, and then we have a card where there's 4 animals and the 4 leaves. And basically it's cow's milk chocolate. It's milk chocolate. One with cow's milk, one with goat's milk, one with sheep's milk, and one with water buffalo. And so the guests have to choose which one is which, and then they, you know, it's it's not so serious, but I think it's going to be fun.
I think this is a good meal. I think so.
People aren't going to really remember everything they eat, but what they will remember is how we made them feel.